Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing this look. It is a comic girl type of look with wow on her face. I think it's so much fun. It's not like the perfect look, but it's good enough. This is going to be a collab video with Marilyn. I did a collab video with her before. It was what's on my iPhone / how I edit my Instagram photos. Her YouTube name is SimplyyMarilyn. I'll make sure to leave her channel linked down below and all her social medias. We both are going to be doing this comic look. So make sure to go check out her video after you watch this. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, then keep watching. Okay, don't judge me on top of these faces that I'm making. They're kind of creepy. But I was just trying to test out to see where my crinkle lines were. Because the point of this look is you're just basically going to be adding lines where you naturally will have a crinkle or where you want to contour. And yeah, so I'm just gonna start off with my brows. I kind of wanted like this confused / shock type of look, so I'm gonna bring the front of my brows to a point and then like kind of like wave it out and then make it really long and thick and bold, how I naturally do my brows but in black. And then once I get the shape that I like, I'm gonna go ahead and fill them in with the NYX Gel Liner in black, and this is just gonna darken it up even more. You really want your black lines to be really intense. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I already started the video off with my foundation already done. I mixed some white face paint with my lightest shade of foundation because I don't have a really light foundation shade, but you know, that works too. Gotta make do what you can do. What? Gotta make do with what you have is what I was trying to say. Anyway, yeah, so just go ahead and darken up your brows and darken up the 3 lines in the middle of your eyebrows. Next, I'm going to be taking this yellow shade from the Morphe eyeshadow palette, and I'm just going to be running this on my eye. You don't have to make sure it's perfect. Just kind of blend it out, make the dark color, make your eyelid really, really dark, and then kind of blend it out. And then I realized that my wig wasn't this yellow. The wig that I'm going to be adding on later, it wasn't this shade of yellow. It was more like a highlighter yellow, and I feel like this wasn't like highlighter enough. It was like more like stoplight yellow, so I just added some of the light green in this palette on top of that to kind of just make it more like neon-ish type of look, you know what I mean? And then I'm just gonna be taking a fluffy brush and just blending it all out. Well, just mainly the edges, because you don't want like a sharp line, you kind of want it diffused. And yeah. And then again, I'm just going to be adding more green to just kind of neonify. Is that a word? I'm always creating my own words on here. Like, what? And then I'm going to be taking the Wet n Wild eyeliner pencil to start working on more contour lines. You'll see later I wipe off this one going down the middle and create 2 on the side. At first I liked it, but then later on I didn't like it. And then I'm just going to be outlining my lips with this pencil. And I'm overdrawing them, both the top and upper lip. Next, I'm going to be filling in my lips with a NYX Lip Liner in the shade dun 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 Hot Red. I later did not like this shade, so I went in with a Jumbo Lip Pencil by NYC in the shade Soft Fairy Berry, and I still didn't like this, so I went in with a NYX lip color in the shade Traffic Jam. And I felt like the combination of all 3 created the perfect red that I was searching and hoping for. Then I'm going to be taking the NYX Gel Liner, the black one, and outline my lips. I'm also going to be darkening up the lines on my nose, and I think this is the part where I realized that I do not like this line going down my nose, which is totally fine because you can clean it up later. You will see that there are a lot of mistakes in this video, so just make sure you learn from my mistakes. Do as I say, not as I do. And then I'm going to be taking this Coastal Scents Forever blush. It's a really, really, really red blush. And it's in the shade Radiant. And then I'm just going to go really heavy-handed above the hollows of my cheekbones, like on my actual cheekbones, and keeping mainly the color on the highest points of my cheekbones and then fading it down. I kind of took it up towards my temple too, but not too high, but kind of pretty high. And then I just went in and added some lines above my lip. Now I'm creating a word. Okay, so here's another error that I did. I forgot that my camera flips the image. So I was hoping to write pow. Later on in the video, you will see that I changed the P to a W once I realized that the P is backwards. Now, if you're doing this for a picture or a video, you can totally do pow. Just make sure you do it the correct way. But if you're doing this to go out, I would highly suggest to do wow. Because if you're taking a front-facing camera or if you're taking a non-front-facing camera, it's always going to be wow. You know what I mean? So I would pick wow, but it's totally up to you. And then I just went ahead and created that outline of wow, and then I'm going to be darkening it up with the NYX Gel Liner. And I guess I didn't realize that I didn't like that line going down my nose yet because it's still there. But yeah, don't worry, it's going to be coming off shortly. But just go ahead and outline everything. Just darken it up. I feel like the pencil just wasn't opaque enough for me. I really wanted like this intense black look. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill in the P and the W with the same technique that I did with my lips. First with this NYC Lip Pencil crayon looking thing. And then I'm just going to go over it with the lip stick after. And just be careful because this did stain my cheeks. It took a while for it to come off. Not like a couple days, but it was not off as soon as I immediately removed this makeup. It did stain it. And I didn't wear this look for that long. So just be careful because you'll just have a P and a W. Well, I had a W and a W because the P didn't stain my face. Next, I'm going to be taking this NYX Jumbo Eye Liner in the shade Black Bean to contour my face even more. I just did in the hollows of my cheek and then my jawline. And then here, I finally realized that I do not like this line. So I'm just going to go ahead and create 2 lines on the side and then 1 on the tip of my nose. First with the pencil and then filling it in, darkening it with the NYX gel liner. And then I just went in and outlined the bags of my eyes. I will later fill it in with the Coastal Scents green and yellow eyeshadows, and then kind of have like a little flick at the end. And then again, learning from my mistakes, I tried to do the top with this eyeliner, but like I don't know if it was the liner or if it was my brush, but it kept snagging on my eyelid. So I later just went in with the NYX Jumbo pencil and just filled in my whole eyelid. I figured because of my eye type, you won't even see this area anyway. So I just filled that whole thing in and was just like, what the heck? Why not? And then I really wanted an intense crisp point. I wanted to wing it out, so I just cleaned it up with some concealer. So just know, if you ever make mistakes, there's always concealer or just whatever shade, whatever foundation or skin shade that you use, just go ahead and clean it up with that. And now I'm just filling it in, outlining, sorry, not filling it in. I'm outlining the P and the W with the NYX Gel Liner. And I still didn't realize that my P is backwards. It takes a while before I realize it. What had happened was my camera died that I was recording on. So I went to go plug it in to charge. And then I was like, oh, while it's charging a little bit, why don't I play back a clip? And then I was like, what the heck? So then I had to go back and wipe everything off. But it's not going to happen till later on. Next, I'm going to be taking this white face paint that I got from the drugstore in the Halloween section. And I'm first going to be taking it on this pointed brush. But I later realized that this brush was creating like these holes inside of the dots because of the brush bristles. So I'm just going to take an Old Faithful handy-dandy Q-tip. And it works perfect, but just make sure to change your Q-tip out every so often, because when the Q-tip gets covered or like drenched in the white paint, the cotton doesn't stay like clumped together like a ball like how it normally is. It kind of like pulls, and then you get like these sloppy dots. So every so often, just switch out your Q-tip. Of course, you can use both ends, so like flip it and then switch it out. But always switch it up, because like I said, if not, you're gonna have like uneven dots. And I guess it's not that big of a deal, but I kind of wanted my dots to be similar in size. And then you're just gonna keep repeating this process throughout your entire face. You don't have to worry about filling in the pow section yet, because we're gonna like fully fill that in with the face paint. So just focus on putting dots everywhere else. And you don't want to cover up any of your black lines or your eyebrows or your eyeshadow. And then I just went in with a smaller foundation brush to just fill it in. And drum roll please. Here is where I realized that it was backwards. So I just went ahead and just wiped off that section, because I was not going to wipe off this entire look. So I just went in with the pencil, the same process how we did earlier. First with the pencil, creating the shape that I want. Then I went in and darkened it with the gel liner. And then I filled it in both with the lip crayon pencil thing and then with the lipstick. And I don't have any clips of me actually filling in this wow bubble thing section. So after you see me work on the letter, it's just gonna immediately get filled in. And then I just went in and added the wig, because I originally did my hand and then I tried to put on the wig and then I messed up my entire hand, which is why you can kind of see some residue from the first time that I did it. So I just like wiped off the full thing, put on my wig, and then did my hand. So I'm just gonna be taking the NYX Jumbo Eye Liner in the black bean and just gonna be outlining the parameters of my hand and my fingers. And then I'm also going to be like creating lines on my knuckle area. But then I'm going to be taking the NYX gel liner to create the finer lines, because the jumbo pencil was just too thick for the like knuckle crinkles. So I'm just going to be taking the gel liner for that part. And yeah. And then you're just going to be taking the white face paint on the Q-tip and just filling in that whole entire hand area. I knew where I was going to place it, like in the picture in frame, so I knew where I had to stop. But if you're going to be wearing this out, you would do your entire arm. And that's pretty much it. That completes my comic girl look. Please make sure to go check out Marilyn's video. Make sure you subscribe to her, follow her on all her social media, subscribe to me, follow all my social media. Make sure to leave that all linked down below. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, click subscribe, stick around for more videos, and until next time, bye.